The wife never expected that the drunkard husband who beat her daily would completely change after assaulting her. Facing this sudden shift from her husband, she only froze for a second before her brows tightened. This scumbag must be up to something again. Well, you, a lifelong single guy, somehow transmigrated into the body of this trash. The original owner of this body was clearly a violent, wife-beating bastard, but somehow he'd struck it big and married a popular rising actress as his wife, even getting a lively and adorable daughter for free. Too bad the good days didn't last long. After he got laid off from the company due to an unexpected event, this loser took out all his anger on what he saw as his jinx of a new wife. From then on, punching and kicking the mother and daughter became routine. He even fed them spoiled leftovers. After digesting these memories, 10,000 curses raced through your mind. This original owner was a complete and utter scumbag. Right now, Shin Ching-Chiu, who had just been brutally beaten, was desperately hugging her child. Seeing you staring straight at her, her body trembled uncontrollably as she instinctively pulled Chen tighter into her arms. She had actually thought about running away with her daughter, but she was an orphan with no one to rely on, and the household money was completely controlled by this demon. In her despair, she had even considered ending her own life, but the thought of her 3-year-old child made her hesitate. If she died, what would happen to little Chen? So every time she was beaten, she could only swallow all the pain alone, not even daring to cry out loud for fear of scaring her daughter. After a long while, you let out a heavy sigh. The stench of alcohol filling the room was nauseating. You glanced at the mess on the floor, then silently bent down and started cleaning up. Shin Qingqiu remained curled up in the corner, still holding Qian, but a flash of surprise quickly crossed her eyes. To avoid scaring them, you didn't approach right away. Instead, you went to the kitchen, grabbed a rag, and began wiping the dirty table. After cleaning the entire house until it looked brand new, you pulled out some clean clothes from the bedroom and headed into the bathroom. Shin Qingqiu stared at the closed bathroom door, then looked at the spotless room, her eyes full of confusion. This scumbag even threw out the rest of the alcohol. What the hell is going on? Just then, 3-year-old Qian opened her big, dark eyes and looked at Shin Qingqiu. Mommy, Qian is hungry. Shin Qian quickly stroked her daughter's hair and gently comforted her. Qian, be good. Mommy will make you something to eat soon. Qian nodded obediently. The little girl knew all too well that she and Mommy could only eat after Daddy fell asleep. When you finished showering and stepped out, the mother and daughter in the corner shrank back like frightened rabbits. You could only sigh helplessly, saying nothing as you quietly opened the door and left. Is he going out to buy more booze again? Are she and Qian going to starve tonight too? She bit her lip hard, her face pale as paper, and tears finally slipped down uncontrollably. Qian probably thought she had made Mommy cry by saying she was hungry, so she quickly reached out her little soft hand to clumsily wipe away the tears. Mommy, don't cry. Qian isn't hungry anymore. Shin Qingqiu bit her lower lip, but the tears fell even harder. After a long moment, she reached up to stroke Qian's hair, her voice hoarse. Qian, be good. Let Mommy put you to sleep, okay? Just then, the sound of a key turning in the lock suddenly came from outside. Shin Qingqiu, who had been lost in thought, trembled all over. She quickly pricked up her ears, listening to the noises outside. When you pushed open the door and instinctively glanced toward the sofa, you were slightly stunned. They must be in the bedroom, but it looked like the mother and daughter hadn't eaten yet. You looked down at the takeout in your hand and stood there frozen for a moment. You set the food out on the table one by one, then turned and walked toward the bedroom. At this moment, Shin Qingqiu was completely tense. Listening to your footsteps getting closer, she quickly closed her eyes and pretended to sleep, silently praying that you wouldn't come in. Who would have thought that the next second, a knock sounded at the door. I bought some food for you two. If you're hungry, come out and eat. I'll sleep in the guest room tonight. Hearing this familiar yet strange voice, Shin Qingqiu's eyes snapped open. As the footsteps faded away, only her own heavy breathing remained in the room. Tian, who had woken up at some point, also heard Daddy's voice. She stared curiously at the door. Today, that Daddy who always smelled of alcohol didn't come back to the room to sleep and even said he bought food. At the mention of food, her little stomach growled. The husband's sudden change left Shin Ching-chiu at a loss, but seeing the longing in her daughter's eyes, she still gathered her courage, quietly walked to the door, and gently turned the handle. The aroma of food drifted in through the crack. Shin Ching-chiu's eyes instantly reddened. He really bought food. Facing this sudden kindness from the demon, she felt dazed for a moment. But instead of joy, she felt a bone-chilling fear. What does he want? What is this scumbag trying to get from her now? Then Chen also ran over on her bare little feet. The small figure clung to the door crack, curiously peeking outside. The next second, her eyes lit up and drool unconsciously dripped from the corner of her mouth. But she didn't dare move. Instead, she obediently looked up at Mommy with questioning eyes. Shin Ching-chiu closed her eyes helplessly, took a deep breath, then forced a smile and gestured quietly to her daughter. "Shh, Chen, be good. We'll eat quietly." Chen immediately jumped with joy, nodding her little head like a pecking chicken. You heard the noises outside from the room and couldn't help sighing again. Earlier, you had gone out for a haircut and bought some food on the way. When you came back, you discovered there was only $1,800 left in the house. These two were probably about to starve. You had to make money fast. After thinking for a moment, you suddenly got excited. That's right, this is a parallel world. You quickly grabbed your phone and started searching frantically. Sure enough, the entertainment industry here was worlds apart from your previous life, pitifully barren. Some cringy songs that made you frown were dominating the charts. So a classic song from your past flashed through your mind. As you thought about it, sleepiness hit you. You soon dragged your tired body into a deep sleep. The next morning at 6, you quietly walked out of the room, only to find the dining table and kitchen spotless. You stood there thinking, the original scumbag used to sleep until noon. Shin Ching-chiu usually got up at 8 to cook, and they could only eat your leftovers after you sobered up. Thinking of this, you sighed again unconsciously. By now, Shin Ching-chiu had actually been awake for a while but didn't dare go out. Only after hearing the front door open and close did she quietly move to the door, muttering to herself that the scumbag had gone out early again. But after waiting a long time with no sounds outside, she glanced at her still sleeping daughter, gathered her courage, and opened the door. The alcohol smell in the house was much fainter today. Fresh air poured in. This sudden change left Shin Ching-chiu dazed, feeling it wasn't real. She hadn't smelled such fresh air in so long. She walked unconsciously to the window and stared outside, becoming lost in thought. After who knows how long, the sound of the door opening startled her awake. Her body tensed up instantly. You also stood there awkwardly. You had gone out early to buy groceries and rice because there was nothing left at home. Now the two of you stared at each other, both unsure what to do. Only now did you truly see what your wife looked like. She was stunning, more beautiful than those heavily made-up internet celebrities. In the end, you broke the awkward silence first. You finished speaking, grabbed the groceries, and slipped into the kitchen. Shin Ching-chiu was shocked, hardly believing her ears. He actually greeted her. And when did he learn how to cook? She silently watched the busy figure in the kitchen, a huge sense of absurdity washing over her. She bit her lip hard as her eyes instantly grew wet. What exactly is this? Before long, Chen woke up too and pattered out on her bare feet. The moment she left the room, she smelled the food. Her big round eyes immediately turned toward the kitchen. You in the kitchen also saw the little one and broke into a big smile, but the little girl's heart suddenly felt stuffed and heavy. Soon the food was ready. You looked at the restrained mother and daughter in the distance and forced a smile. Wash up and come eat. Chen was clearly swallowing hard from hunger, but still clung tightly to her mom's leg, not daring to move. Shin Ching-chiu stared at everything in full panic. The small spark of hope in your heart instantly sank into icy waters. You stayed silent for a moment, then said softly, "You guys eat first," before turning back to the guest room. Shin Ching-chiu still didn't dare move. She watched the guest room door close, then looked down at her daughter's longing eyes and sighed inwardly. "Chen, go wash your hands and eat." Hearing this, Chen's eyes lit up instantly. Mommy, did Daddy make this for Chen?" Shin Ching-chiu was momentarily speechless, looking at her daughter's expectant gaze, and finally nodded with difficulty. With Mommy's confirmation, Chen's eyes shone even brighter. She eagerly climbed onto the chair, scooped a big spoonful of egg custard into her mouth. "Daddy made this for me for the first time. It's so delicious." At that moment, Shin Ching-chio just silently picked at the rice in her bowl, her heart filled with mixed emotions, struggle, confusion, and more. Meanwhile, you sat at the desk in the guest room. You were actually starving, but you knew the mother and daughter still couldn't eat at the same table with you yet. So you pulled out your phone, opened the short video platform, and habitually scrolled through the trending list. The next second, your brows furrowed tightly. What the hell are these songs? You dug out a few dusty sheets of music paper from the drawer. Humming a familiar tune, your pen flew across the paper. In no time, a complete score was written out. Then you eagerly pulled out the dusty guitar from the corner. After a simple moment to get in the mood, you closed your eyes and lightly strummed the strings. The melodious guitar sound instantly drifted through the door. Shin Ching-chao, who had been quietly eating, suddenly froze. She looked toward the closed door in surprise. When did he learn to play guitar? Even Chanqian, who had been focused on eating, was drawn in. She stopped her little spoon and looked curiously toward the side room. It sounds so good. It was the first time she had heard Daddy's voice sound so gentle. Although Shin Ching-chio had never heard this song before, she could clearly feel the power within it. The beautiful melody and touching lyrics made it impossible to imagine they came from that demon's mouth. Your singing continued to echo in the room. Listening to it, Shin Ching-chio could no longer hold back. Her shoulders began to tremble uncontrollably as hot tears fell like broken ears. Every day, she faced only a messy room and the man who had slowly turned into a demon. Now that she had finally gathered the courage to try escaping him, why was he suddenly singing this song? Shin Ching-chio felt like she was about to break down. She fell back into endless confusion. She was so afraid this was just a fleeting, beautiful dream, and once it shattered, everything would return to that hopeless starting point. Ken-chan also noticed Mommy was crying and immediately felt at a loss. She quickly reached out her little hand to clumsily wipe away the tears, coaxing in her childish voice, "Mommy, don't cry. Ken-chan will blow on it for you." You, completely unaware of what was happening outside, focused on recording the video on your phone. After playing and singing the full song, you saved it and uploaded it directly to the short video platform. Only then did you let out a long breath and rub your growling stomach. You didn't know if the mother and daughter had finished eating, but the hunger was too much to bear. You quietly pushed open the door and peeked out, just in time to see Shin Ching-chio. You then walked to the dining table and noticed the food they had clearly left for you. A warm feeling flowed through your heart. Just then, the master bedroom door cracked open slightly. You looked over and saw a little head poking out. It was Chanqian, tilting her head curiously as she observed you. The moment you saw her, you instinctively started to smile, but as soon as your lips curved up, the little girl shrank back like a startled rabbit. You touched your head helplessly. After eating, you aimlessly scrolled on your phone. In the blink of an eye, it was noon. You stood up, ready to make lunch. At that moment, the bedroom door opened. Shin Ching-chio walked out expressionlessly, carrying a pile of clothes. She seemed not to see you as she headed straight for the bathroom. Seeing her come out, your body stiffened. She was going to wash clothes. Your heart sank. The clothes you changed into yesterday were still in the washing machine. Thinking of this, you quickly followed after her in a few strides. Shin Ching-chio was actually extremely nervous inside. She hadn't expected him to still be home. In the past, he would have already gone out to fool around with his shady friends. Hearing your footsteps getting closer, her heart rose to her throat. You forced yourself to speak up. My clothes are still in the washing machine. Can I take them out to hang first?" Your sudden voice made Shin Ching-chao, standing in front of the machine, tremble violently as if shocked. Her foot slipped and she nearly fell. "Careful!" You instinctively reached out to steady her, the words slipping out. Shin Ching-chao finally reacted. He was asking her. Her eyes darted away, not daring to look at you, but she gave a slight nod. "Okay, you go first." You nodded, but your hands suddenly began to shake uncontrollably. A towering rage mixed with intense heartache instantly overwhelmed your reason. And that's how our broken home started healing in the most unexpected way. If you enjoyed this emotional roller coaster, smash that like button and subscribe for more intense anime recaps. What do you think? Will Shin Ching-chao ever truly trust him again? Drop your theories in the comments. New recap drops very soon. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.